very good afternoon to you out there. Yes, it's another Sunday. We've been given another chance at life, at living and doing the things we love. We know that Sundays are a good day for us to re-strategize and, Sundays are a very good day for us to re-strategize and prepare for the week ahead of us. This is the Sunday Show. I am Pamela Zamfara, welcoming you to today's edition of the Sunday Show, and it promises to be very engaging. So please stay with us on the Unity station. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, I get to tell you the topic of discussion and our guest who is already seated in the studio.
How many to call? We spit a pigeon and one call. You better show where you belong. Rogedi baba opobule romoja le kan shama woni wrong. Rogedi baba opobule romoja le kan see. Once again it's me, the individual running the game physical. I'm here to open my mouth again and again, spiritual, to speak from my heart. Let you know where it pin me as people they backbite and talk about me up in this industry. Where them been they when I they speak for mechanics and shoemakers, them they talk around the subject like our lawmakers. Before I dropped the hand, the industry was messed up. Fakers they rule, while real rappers them they stressed up. Nobody did a damn thing until I came through. I cleared the whole area. Now real rappers have a say too. Now people they listen to them, come for shows and clap for them. Some they take them to the next level with hip hop forums. From Nigeria, the world only know Juju, Fuji and Afrobeat, but we all know hip hop is running the streets. Waiting will make them know where your music come from in the long run. Like the fusion of grammar, your slang and your mother tongue. Sing it. I tell one more bala. How many to go? I speak to Pigeon and walk on Buka. You better show where you belong, cause I am Rogedi Baba I go spit more in your mother tongue. Tell the people I'm tired of people and gossip. I don't switch from smart to frown. I'm tired of so-called hip-hop heads whispering that I ain't holding it down. Say I don't change from the way I be before. Say now they speak for Pigeon, they prefer me when I be me hardcore. Like when I drop What If and split the airwaves. But financially that left me grounded like Nigerian Airways. What if I tell you say I only do 1 or 2 shows? What if them no pay me well enough to buy 1 good shoe and some good clothes? And Save won't play, had a hand in letting me know what it'll take for me to rearrange and eventually blow. While you sit around and talk shit, our elders mock our shit.
Thank you so much, Rugged Man. The song title is Ruggedi Baba. Yes, Rugged Man has been in the music industry for long and he's one of the people I actually love. That was just to lighten your Sunday and make the Sunday show more enjoyable for you. Now, back to the topic or the Sunday show proper. Education is said to be the bedrock of every society. And when people when people say that education is preparation for life, no, education is actually life itself, as Nelson Mandela said. Now my guest is already in the studio, a pretty young woman who is doing great in her own world. Now her name is Faith Ebiri. Welcome to the studio, Faith Ebiri.
Thank you so much, Pamela.
My guest is an emerging education advocate. She's dedicated to promoting inclusive learning and improving human capital development in Nigeria. And while introducing her, you know, the topic just came up. We would be talking about inclusive and accessible education in Nigeria. Now, welcome to the studio once again.
Oh, thank you so much, Pamela.
All right. So when we talk about our topic, inclusive and accessible education in Nigeria, help us understand this topic. Put it in very simple terms for us.
So the word inclusive and accessible education is just simple. Removing barriers that hinders education, that hinders learning. So it's just simple. Removing
barriers that hinders learning. Yes. So what are those barriers? Would you like to pinpoint those barriers for us?
Yes, we have poverty, we have early marriage, we have insecurities. The lists are endless, a lot of them, yeah.
Okay. So let's understand, what group of learners are not included in this discussion?
I think all group of learners are included. We have the girls, because some families they prioritize the boy child. Meanwhile, those girls need to go to school. We have marginalized children. We have children from rural areas. We have nomadic children. We have different kind of children that are suffering from this problem.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, you know, as a young person, young people these days, you would see that they're more interested in tech, you know, they're more tech savvy. They would like to do something that has to do with fashion. When you talk about education, people will be like, oh, that's a little bit probably old school.
Yeah.
But you are a young person and you have this as an interest. Could you tell us why?
I know this desire came and started around, I think, the 2019 pandemic. When I was...
Was that 2020?
Yeah, 2019. Okay. I think it's 2020. So 2020, that pandemic period, I went to service in the area, in a very rural area, and I saw kids around the community playing, and they're not learning. So I studied that community. I realized they don't go to school due to the pandemic. And I was like, oh, what can I do about to change this problem? So I started educating these kids. I have my system, I have my laptop. Imagine introducing online education to these kids, so they're not left behind. So that passion ignited, that inspires me. And so I started from there and talking about education. And I'm also into tech as well. So I'm also into tech and also into education as well.
Okay,
yeah.
So you just blended the two,
of course,
to give you results.
Yes.
Okay. So Nigeria, we always say that the future of Nigeria lies in the hands of the youth, lies in the hands of our children. Now, why is inclusion, especially in inclusive, why is this topic, inclusive and accessible education, important? And why should it be? Why should education, how would it take Nigeria to the greater or the better level that we all hope it would be?
You know, according to statistics in Nigeria, 18.3 million girls or children are out of school. That's a big number. That's the highest of all. And in that number, 60% of them are girls. So that means 11 million girls are out of school.
Wow.
So it's very important. And the human capital, for it to progress, we need what? Education. So educating an educated child grows up and becomes a productive adult. So if you want to invest really in Nigeria, you need to invest in the educational sector, or in educating, or inclusive education.
Especially for girls.
For girls in particular.
Okay.
Yes.
So now let's leave the talk of girls aside. Is there any other group that is being marginalized aside girls? Is there any group that is left behind? Yes,
we have children with disability. We have nomadic children. We have children from poor areas, children from low-income areas. There are a lot of children that suffer from this issue. A lot of them, yes, we have them.
What can be done? What can societies do? We've seen a challenge,
yes,
and you've gone ahead to do something about it. But do you think, what other organizations or sectors do you think should put in a lending hand?
I feel like the NGO sector, the private organizations, they should come. They can start by creating awareness. Do you believe that in this society, some parents, some families, they don't believe their girls need to go to school? So you need to go and sensitize them, create awareness, talk about it. It needs to be a daily topic that people to understand the importance of not just education, of inclusive education. Every child deserves to learn. It's a fundamental right. Very important.
All right. Let's remember that the Sunday Show is a call-in program. Our phone line will soon be on for everyone to call in and lend their voice to this discussion in the studio. Now we'll continue. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, the show continues.
Follow me, go like my shadow for night. Need somebody, baby, no delay. You can call me any time of day. Oh, baby, if you ever wonder, I promise I gon' treat you better. Love you soft and tender. Oh, señorita, open door, baby, make I enter. Waiting, make I do to show you that I love you, my señorita. I'm available anytime you want me. Leave it all behind, baby, I swear. If you need me now, I'll be racing for you. Before you open your eyes, I'll be there. I'm available anytime you want me. be my own, now your own too, baby boo. Oh baby, if you ever wonder, I promise I'ma treat you better. Love you soft and tender, oh señorita. Open door, baby, make I enter. Waiting, make I do to show you that I love you, my señorita. I'm available anytime you want me. I'll leave it all behind, baby, I swear. If you need me now, I'll be racing for you. Before you open your eyes, I'll be there, I'll be there. I'm available anytime you want me. I'll leave it all behind, baby, I swear. If you need me now, I'll be racing for you. Before you open your eyes, I'll be there.
Johnny Drill, I'm available. Yes, let's be available for our loved ones. It can be very frustrating when you're in certain situations and no one is available for you. Welcome back to the Sunday show. Yes, we're still here. My guest is still here, and we're talking about inclusive and accessible education in Nigeria. Now, Nigeria is 63.
Yes.
And I love the fact that now we are not referred to as underdeveloped world again.
Yes.
But instead, we are given the title developing world,
Country, yes.
like country. I am glad about that we are at least left underdeveloped, and developing is the word. Now, as a 63-year-old person or country, let me put it like that. I wanted to give an illustration as if Nigeria were a person, but as a 63-year-old country, educationally, do you think we are where we ought to be? Are we setting the pace for other African countries to follow as the giants of Africa?
Nah, the answer is no. We are not near that standard. For a 63-year-old country to still have 18.3 million out of school children is really a red flag. Children deserve education. Every child deserves to learn. Despite of the culture from when they are from, they deserve education, and it's a fundamental right. So we are saying we are 63 years old and we are not actually actualizing the importance in education. So it's no, we are far from it.
What do you think can be done so that we get to, we are at par with other countries?
Affordable education or just free education. Government should provide free education and safe, not just free, safe education. Schools that are closer to homes or schools in each community. We have reached that level that we should have free education, free access, inclusive education. And we should also sensitize teachers. Many teachers, they don't know how to include everybody. They're not being trained on how those things are happening. So a lot of things are supposed to be done to ensure that inclusivity is happening in Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you so much for those points. Now, while you were answering that, I heard you mention culture. I know that in some cultures, even though I can see us gradually leaving that, in some cultures, you don't educate everyone. The boy child might be given education, but no to the girl child and all of that. Do you see culture keeping us down? And what is the way out?
I think that culture is really a really important topic to talk about. Until now, it's still ongoing. And despite there's still advancements, there's sensitizement, there's talking about it, but it's still happening. Many families from rural areas believe that their male child needs to go to school. And sometimes I might not blame them. Those of them that believe on education and they try to put their children in school, and maybe they reach the primary section, they want to go to the secondary section, and they see that there's cost, there's no money to continue education. They say, fine, since I have 2 girls, I have 2 boys, and we cannot continue education, who will go to school? They say, fine, you're a girl, you get married, you go to the kitchen, you go to your husband's house. Then as the male child, you are the odogu, you will stay in the house. They say, fine, you as the male child, go to school, and then the female child, go to work. And then train that child to be a wife. Meanwhile, that child deserves education. Her dreams are equally valid as the male child. So, first of all, we have to encourage parents that the best investment you can make is investing in your children's future. That's the best investment. Because when they have become productive, they'll be productive to themselves, and then to you as a parent, and to the society at large. So it's very important, very necessary. So when you don't know the benefit you have, you gain in educating your girl child. And funny enough, a girl child, when you educate a girl child, she serves the home, she builds the home, she protects the home, she defends the home. So it's very important that both boys and girls go to school.
You're so passionate about this. Could it be because you're also a girl child?
You know, why I'm passionate about this is because I've seen firsthand experience from when I was growing up, I see some of my classmates that drop out due to education, due to they don't have funds, and they go to the street, they hawk, end of the day they get pregnant, and then they stop learning. So I see all these things, and I'm seeing the environment, I'm like, wow, this is happening, and it's still happening to date. Some kids come and meet me, Miss Faith, please, can you talk to my parents? I really love to learn, I want to go to school. And I'm seeing all these things, it breaks my heart. So I'm passionate about this, and I go to these parents' houses, and I talk to them, ma, sir, your child needs to go to school, he needs to learn. And that's why my school, I have a school of clusters that pick these children that go to the environment. Tell this parent, your child can come to my school, and I'll give them that quality education that they need to learn, and accessible and affordable for them.
Now, I also heard you earlier talk about free education in Nigeria. Now, when you talk about free education, you know, sometimes they say there's no free food in Freetown, and free is not really free. Sometimes you get to pay for textbooks. Okay, you won't pay the school fees, but you pay for textbooks, you pay for uniforms and all that. Before you know,
it's not free.
It's not free again. The price. What should be done about this so that free can actually be free?
Yes, that's why you need to talk more about this case. NGOs, private organizations need to support the school system, actually. The government has to talk about it. Free now, they said there's free education to some. The government is giving free education, but you see that you have to buy your uniform, you have to buy your textbooks, you have to buy this. I was seeing a child say that she is going to government schools. How much is your fee? She said your fee is 7,000. But I said it's free. 70,000 and it's free. How? I would say no, the textbooks is there, the uniform is there, the this is there, the that is there. I'm like, oh, it's no longer free. And now the mom said, stay at home. That money I cannot pay. She cannot afford private school. She cannot afford government school. So it's no longer free. So if you want to give free education, it should be entirely free. No hidden charges.
Okay. So our phone line is open now. You can make those calls. You can lend your voice to this topic we are talking about, education in Nigeria, inclusive and accessible education in Nigeria. Our phone line is out there, so we're waiting for your calls. Call us. Let's hear what you think about education in Nigeria. We're waiting for those calls. All right, my guest. Now we've spoken a lot about it, and I know technology is here to stay. But when you talk about technology, the first thing that comes to the minds of others is social media. But technology is a lot more than social media. Facebook, TikTok, and the rest of them. How can we leverage on this technology so that our children are out there, they're not just watching videos and games online, but they are actually learning?
You know, technology, there are a lot of skills you can learn online. Now, normally you can go to a workspace to go and learn a skills. Almost 90%.
I'm so sorry, I would have to cut you. We have our first caller for the day.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning. Good afternoon, rather. Hello, can you hear me? Good afternoon. Hello? Oh, I don't think our caller can hear me. Please, when you want to call us, please can you move away from your TV set or whatever it is you're using to hook up to NTA Channel 5 so that we can hear you clearer and better. We're still waiting for your phone calls. My guest was talking about you and making a point.
Yeah, about technology. Like up to 90% of skills, you can actually learn them online. You don't need to go to the office. You can learn every skill online. So if the parents of that child, if the school know the impact of technology, the power of technology, for children with disabilities, they are hearing aids, they are audio visuals, there are different things that can make learning fun, can make learning entertaining, and some children, they learn more with visuals. So imagine incorporating that in technology. Imagine schools incorporating that environment, that space for children to learn. It makes learning fun and teaching easier. You know, if he asks some of my students, I ask them, why do you like learning? Say, I love learning because of the way my teacher teaches it. Because I also include those gadgets, those life experiences, those things that are what make them love learning. So children, they actually love learning, but just bring the right resources. And technology makes learning easier. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
And when you brought that illustration, it just reminded me of those days, you know, when it's time for maths, you almost want to run out of the class because of the strictness of everything, the way it was being taught. But thank God for flexibility. It's now being changed. Now, you spoke about, when you were talking, you spoke about skill acquisition. Do you see us bringing skill acquisition as something in the schools for us to learn? Do you see it as a subject? Do you see it being brought up as a subject?
Entrepreneurship studies,
because we all need that to survive in
of
this
course.
present. We have another call. We'll come back to that discussion. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the Sunday Show. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
calling from Abuja.
Okay, where in Abuja, sir?
Area 8.
Okay,
Area 8.
good to know that you're watching NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Now, lend your voice to our topic, sir.
No, that woman there, that is not a woman. That woman there, she's a productive woman, so true.
Wow.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Very
much.
The way she talk about the education is kind of woman that takes care of the home.
All right.
Thank you so much, sir.
That can be the kind of woman that can take care of the child, bring up the child in a normal way.
Thank you so much for your compliments to our guests. What do you think about education in Nigeria? Lend your voice to that.
Yeah, education is very, very important.
Okay.
Education is very important to everybody.
Yes.
Every child, every daughter, every female, both female and male in Nigeria. So anybody that says education is not important, that person doesn't know what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for calling us.
Yeah,
Thank you. Do enjoy the Sunday. Now, we're talking about skill acquisition being put in our school curriculum. How important is that?
Yeah, I realized, I think I made some investigation. I realized that most schools now, that's the big schools, they include entrepreneurship studies in their curriculum, and that's really very wonderful news to hear. And guess what? Schools in rural communities don't know about that.
Wow.
That's why I go back to creating awareness. Now my school,
Let's just pick this call and come back to the studio. Hello, good afternoon. Oh, all right.
okay.
So
So that's why I go back to saying creating awareness. Some schools in rural facility, they're just trying to make money, just trying to accommodate children as possible. They don't know about what we're talking about. They don't know about skill acquisition, rather, yes, entrepreneurship studies. But my school is in a rural area. That's why I lay emphasis on entrepreneurship. I call visitors and volunteers. They come to teach these skills. They're 3D printing, different kind of things, how to use a computer, Microsoft Word. These are skills that help children. Not about learning how to, social studies is this, civic is this. You need to know,
and you don't know
practical
how to apply
skills.
It to daily.
That's why now, now we're in Jersey, those millennials, they graduate, they don't know what to do with their certificates. Just know book. For you to survive in the economy, you need skills, real skills. So school needs to implement that. That's why I love the China system. They implement skills from early age. That's when they come and start creating things. A young child is already developing something. And Nigeria, we can be the best in knowing spellings, the best in solving maths, best in this. But in the real things that make you survive, the real things that make you stand on your own, you don't know. So you have to go back and start learning skills again. After you finish your 5 years old course, then after you finish that course, you have to continue, go back to apply or to register yourself in maybe in a tailoring skill, in a hairdressing skill for another 1 year for you to serve out. How about learn that hairdressing in school that you're paying school fees for? So it's very important to involve entrepreneurship studies in every school, no matter the location. And that's why I talk about creating awareness. Imagine going to NGOs, private sector, going to communities, holding campaigns, telling them the importance of education and entrepreneurship, and all hosting programs that can involve kids to learn particular skills. So entrepreneurship is very important for kids.
It is, and that's the point you made is really deep, because sometimes we go to school, we acquire the degree, we know this, we know that, but we do not know how to apply it to practical life.
Yes.
Now, I would want you to speak to parents out there, speak to guardians, speak to communities, because sometimes, you know, the community you grew up in has a lot to do with how you face the future, how you see the world out there. Sometimes, you know, all those things that bring you down, the way you are being brought up, you know, if you were given this negative outlook to life, that is how we would look at it. What can parents do? What can communities do to ensure that our children grow out to be better people?
Yes, I would say first that education is not a privilege. It's a fundamental right that has to happen. It's not a privilege. And every parent, the smartest investment you can make is educating your girl child or educating your children. That's the smartest. I need to do this. The smartest investment any parent can make is making sure that their children, not just their male children, every child, both children with ability, or you feel like, oh, the society with my child is disabled. A disabled child can learn. They are smart.
And can make a market.
They can make a market, yes.
Right,
so you have to make sure all your child, they are educated. And you see that most problems that parent faces, and there are easy solutions, because they stay in that problem for years because nobody in the environment can find solution because they're not educated.
But your children can.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. We have run out of time.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much for coming on the Sunday show.
Yes.
You really made it beautiful for all of us.
Much.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. My guest has been Faith Iberi, and we've spoken about inclusive and accessible education in Nigeria, and all her points, well, they were valid, and she has made a mark in education. We also, in our own little way, can lend a hand out there, can do one or two to make our society a better place. Until we come your way again, from the entire production crew, we say have a lovely day. I remain Pamela Samfara.
In the beginning, as a hustle, they start you. To put sugar for carry, and the game plan without you. Wake up every morning and I stretch up my feet. No time to slack, cause man must eat. No go surrender, no go retreat, man no go quit. Hey, go nigga, no be ya. So when the sun bright, make hay, yeah.